And we're live. They,
What's up, everybody?
they might have caught the end of that rant. That was weird, but it's fine.
Which one?
what we were just talking about before. You might caught a little bit of the end.
I had a panic attack. It wasn't great.
It happens.
Yeah. Whew, man, what a day it's been, man. What a day. Other than like me having, again, I'm not gonna get into it on the show, but like beyond the just panic attack I just had. Again, like I'm pissed off because it was I've been feeling great. Like real talk, Kyle. I started this diet a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been more happy.
Good.
Cause like I'm going out every fucking day. I am like the first thing I do when I wake up is put my shoes on and I go for a walk.
Great.
And I go for a mile walk and I come back and then that's when I start like making breakfast, right? And my area is very hilly, like it's very steep, like the incline's ridiculous. So like I feel like I got a good little workout for my dumb fat body. And and I've been eating right. I've been laying off on the carbs, laying off on the sugar, it really is. Bread's like my biggest enemy. It's my worst enemy. And I feel like yours cheese. I've been feeling good.
Good,
dude.
Good.
Like it's so like that kind of just threw a wrench in the plans, and that very much annoys me. But
it happens.
Yeah.
Hello, Sim Vendetta. What up, Gabe?
What up, Sim? What up?
Hope y'all are doing well.
We're just getting everything in order here. Bitly.cam. But other than that, man, how have you been doing? Because I
got to play a lot of video games yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Which is good. I'm a little burnt. I was in the pool today.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I'm very sore because what happens when I'm in the pool is the girls hang on me. And they're like, "Oh, Kai, run around in circles in the pool." While these grown-ass kids, they're not babies anymore, are hanging on me, all three of them.
Nice.
So yeah, you go for walks, I go through hell in the pool.
I'm fighting these preteens.
I do total body workout in the pool. Oh man,
that's good, dude.
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
I came to this realization earlier.
Talk to me about it.
I don't know why it popped in my head, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to it for as long as I can, feeling wise.
Please.
I'm a fucking gem. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I've been telling you for a minute.
I know, but it just out of nowhere, it popped into my brain earlier. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I am. I do a lot of good things.
You do a lot of great things.
Yeah.
Everybody loves you. Yeah.
So, sometimes it's good to remind yourself, even though other people like you say it all the time.
Yeah.
It hits different when you tell yourself.
And you know what? I was actually thinking about. I was actually thinking about us the other day.
Yeah.
Just earlier today, rather. Sorry, not the other day. I was just like, I don't think you give yourself enough credit to how much people love you in this community. Like, I genuinely mean that.
Uh-huh.
Like, because one person, I think Red Arrow on the Discord was like, make sure you talk about some indie games.
Oh,
you give us a top 10 list there.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me, I'm like, oh yeah, man. You're the indie guy from what I understand.
Yeah, well.
You
until you take the title from me. You try to creep in there every once in a while.
In about 20 minutes, I'm going to try. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I hope everyone's prepared. I'm going to say something very controversial when it comes to Game of the Year stuff.
Oh?
Just saying. I'll keep it a secret.
Okay. Your Game of the Year thus far thing. All right. I got it.
One of the games. Cool, not my Game of the Year, but one of the games.
Just one of the games you really like. Okay. Cool. Hey, I want to thank everybody in the chat again. Sins in the chat. Gabe, Carlene, you know what up. Andrew, what's good? Bowser, What's happening?
Hello, hello.
Thank you, everybody. I know as like the summer months come and go, everybody's got their summer plans. It gets a little lighter, right? And so Dwane's in the chat. Yo, what up? So I just appreciate everybody coming out and really just being a part of the ride with us. This makes me feel nice. So that said, we got a minute to go.
Yep.
I'm excited, man.
And the photo pre-roll thing, just because we're running late, it's done, but we were running late, so.
Oh, well,
next
yeah,
week.
and that's next week.
Yeah, I actually fell asleep because I was so tired, and I woke up to a text 10 minutes earlier of Joe going, "Oh, I'm going to be on." I go, "Oh crap!" and I had to rush down here.
Well, it's because like you got the sun, what is it, glaring down at you?
Yeah,
or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You got
hammocks are no
you're
joke.
in the pool.
They're comfortable.
Oh, you fell asleep in the hammock?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god. Okay, we're save this for the pod. Save this for the pod. I need to talk to you about this. This is what you just did is dangerous.
Me sleeping in
it's
a hammock?
Dangerous. It's more dangerous than you think.
Oh, okay.
It's more dangerous in there.
All right.
And I'm concerned. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. All right.
All right, you ready?
I am almost ready to go. I got everything right in front of me. I'm ready. I'm ready.
That actually goes into the starter question, by the way, so we can save it for that.
Ooh, okay. How do you pronounce her name?
I want to say Dreek.
Dreek. Okay.
Possibly. All right. I'm going to switch over to the intro. All right,
okay.
chat. We'll see you in a second.
Oh, wait, no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week, we're talking whether all these PlayStation 5 discounts hint at a new model coming soon, another exec leaves PlayStation Mobile, Rise of Ronin sounding too good to be true, the PS tag team with Korea, our personal games of the year so far, and so much more. As we do it live each and every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/@PS Trophy Room. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
A little burnt.
Yeah.
A little tired, but I'm feeling pretty wonderful today. How about you, Joe?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good, but I want to know why you're tired. Because as you know, we record each and every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
I send you a text, as I normally do, telling you, hey, I'll be on in about 10 minutes.
Yes.
And you send me a text 10 minutes later, which makes, I think, was it 7:20?
No, it was closer to like 7:35.
Going, just woke up. Just woke up. I'll be on in 10. So tell me, Kyle.
Yeah.
Why is Kai Kai so tie-tie?
Kai Kai is so tie-tie because today I had to be up at 7:30, 7:45 to watch the boy, as my sister had things she had to go to that couldn't take him.
Sure.
And then I was outside all day in the pool, hence the burntness.
Yeah.
With the three kids, the three older girls, my nieces, hanging on me. And what they like to do, no, they're the oldest is 12, the twins are 10. What they still like to do is grab a hold of me and say, "Run" in the pool, and I just run in circles to make like a whirlpool as they're hanging on me. And it's not like when you are envisioning a pool. I don't have a fancy in-ground pool that is very long. I have one of those above-ground circular pools. It's like, I don't know, 10, 12 feet in diameter or whatever. Yeah. So I'm doing 10 laps around with them dragging on me. And I'm tired, Joe. It takes a lot out of me. So I have a hammock outside. I'm just chilling in
Humble
there.
brag.
The boys taking a nap on me in the hammock. And I'm just relaxed. I'm tired from all the poolness and when I'm being up early. And I conked out. I didn't do it on purpose.
I mean, okay, the only thing that concerns me about everything you just said
Yeah.
is the fact that you fell asleep in a heat wave.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So let me paint the
Okay.
picture.
All right.
You won't be able to find me to assassinate me because I'm hidden.
Yeah.
Where my
fair.
house
You're
is.
you're not geotagged.
Yeah, no. The hammock is actually underneath two gigantic trees, so it's in the shade. So it's a lot
Okay.
cooler.
So just...
Yeah, no, I'm not out in the middle of the yard in a hammock on those metal hooks. No. Big man over here. We got wooden posts and heavy duty steel with the hammock
Fair.
and underneath the shade. So I am chilling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So don't worry about me.
That comes to the starter question.
Yeah.
Okay. Comes from Dreek G, who writes in, "Hey, lovely gentlemen. Since I'm all out of gaming related questions, it got me thinking. For myself, I like to go for a ride on my motorcycle to balance out the hours spent behind my TV. Hashtag no regrets. So I'm curious, what are your favorite things to do besides gaming? Have a great day, evening, and night, and wish you all the best. Yeehaw!"
Yeehaw!
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Lovely gentleman that man is.
Yeah.
Kyle, what do you like to, because you're right, it's the summer months. I think July kind of kicks it off. Everybody's taking a siesta, taking a vacay with the fam.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what is the thing that you like to do besides video games?
Games.
That's like your hobby. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a movie fan, as you can tell from movie watchers, YouTube watchers, video format. Those things behind me are not games; those are Blu-rays. I have like close to 900 Blu-rays of movies. Some are double dip because of different steelbooks, whatever. But I love movies. I haven't been watching them a lot lately, just because there's so many games that are taking up my time. But I like just chilling out, watching a movie, or like, going outside on the hammock, bringing a book out, just relaxing.
Yeah. Right now, gang, I don't know if you can hear this, and I'm leaving this in the podcast.
I hear,
but
nothing,
something that's okay, great. Something that sounded like a motorboat just passed by, like a sea vessel. I'm nowhere near water. Like it was like and it wasn't like an 18-wheeler. It sounded aquatic. So I'm like, what is going on? The submarine's here.
You got airships outside now.
Apparently. What do I like to do besides game?
I know you're a movie person too. Like, you've been watching more movies than I have lately, I feel like.
Yeah, I've been because I find like I need more hobbies other than gaming. Like I just love games. Like you just put a controller in my hand, I'm in, right? So for me, I think ever since COVID, I really dived into movies, TV shows. I love good music. Like we're gonna be watching, or I'm gonna be going to an In This Moment and oh my god, I forget the other band. Motionless in White this weekend.
Sweet.
Next month we're gonna be going to see Ghost again. So like, I love going to a concert. I love seeing like bands perform live.
Music,
live music's the jam. You just see everybody who like loves to say it's kind of like going to a con, right? It's like everybody's just here for the vibe.
Sure.
And I love that. So I'd say movies, TV, music.
What was the last concert I went to? That's a good question.
I know this is gonna sound real weird.
Yeah.
I like learning things.
Oh, that's not weird. That's not weird.
Well, like I love listening about the history of like stuff.
I
don't know what stuff. It doesn't matter what the thing is. If I'm interested in it, I kind of just want to dive into it. And just understand it
if
more.
It's something I really, really, really love, I love seeing behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
Of like how, like when I'm a big fan of Critical Role. Whenever I see a TikTok or a YouTube video of them just being in the office, just like seeing how it runs and behind the scenes, like behind the cameras, whatever, and just get more of a, because I'm a more visual learner. So
Sure.
anything that can fill out the space behind what I'm watching or I'm playing at the moment, I love doing that. That's why I like raising Kratos and
Yeah.
the Last of Us
Oh,
doc and anything Danny O'Dwyer and NoClip do. Like any
yeah.
of that stuff, I'm all in for.
And it also is probably the reason why I love lore in games. Like I obsess about like World of Warcraft lore, or used to. You know, it's just like diving deeper into the history of something. I don't know. It's just I jive with it.
Yeah.
Great question. Great starter
Yeah.
question, by the way. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. That said, a little bit of housekeeping before we break down all the PlayStation news this week. And of course, we also got the Synapse review for PSVR2. Maybe it's a must have. Maybe it's not. We're about to find out in a few minutes. That said, housekeeping, the Trophy Room merch store is here and we got new shirts. Listen, if you love the Sony Pony Express, you love this show, you love saying awesome words like slinger, you like saying awful words like banger. Well, guess what? We got shirts for you. Link down in the description. Help support the show, and rock the inside jokes with style. That being said, though, not enough love for the Slanger shirt. Let's get those numbers up.
No, don't force
get 'em
love
up.
for something that no one has.
Oh, everybody loves it. Everybody is just thrilled about it. I just need to see more enthusiasm.
It gets the people going.
Yeah, get some jazzed, Of course, as well, we're supported, and this show goes live because of the generosity of all the patrons over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. It's like we say each and every week. If you ever caught you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, this gosh dang heat wave that is absolutely unrelenting.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
You pulled the meat
now
for a
I smell
second.
toast. What can we do? You head on over to patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. It's the reason why we look so good, sound so great, is your generosity over at patreon.com. That said, I want to thank our premium producers, Todd Burowitz and Toxic. I want to thank our platinum members, Jay Shea, Jedi Master N, Cowboy Danger D, Jonas Young, Green Gorilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, The Millennial Falcon Gaming, Ryuko Kill 90, Stephen Flesh, Strubles and Bits, Bertos, Maximus, Chris, Hybrid 748, Matt Valdez, Chris the Wizard. Our gold members, Cypher Primus, Doth Simon the Pie Man, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Hyde Doors, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Marcus O'Neill, Red Arrow, The Aegis Hermit, Androsasaur, Astronaut Jr., The Winter Gamer, Robbie Bobby Miller, Brenton Zachary, Brunty Bob, Bubble Boy N7, Captain Logan, Final Fan XZ, Hambone, JD Dillinger, M9 Prime, Stone Cold E.T., Tino 6 Speed, N Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Rick Arrington, Spam and Bamman, and Matthew King. Thank you all so much for your generosity. And I think there's also one other person. I totally forgot to put him on the list. But
while you're looking for that, I'll just let everyone know that Road to Greatness is going to be recorded this weekend. So we're going to hear our full thoughts on Jedi Survivor with special guests Katie and Jedi Master Ren. They're going to be joining us because they're huge Star Wars fans.
That's right.
So we're going to be doing that, and we'll finally get that out as well. Since it's now July, you know what that means, Joe?
What's that?
We'll have to play Nier Automata for this month's Road to Greatness.
Oh,
you hear that, Naga Chaka? You hear
I'm not
that?
feeling it.
What do you mean not feeling it?
There's so many games.
I know, but we said this months ago.
No, I know. I made a promise.
If you want to play along with us, that's the game for the month. So you have until August 1st.
Yeah. And I want to shout out, last but not leastly, the Overlord. Nice. Thank you all so much. And by the way, it's one of the things that we're going to be doing and we're going to be announcing next week officially with the whole new Patreon refresh is we really want to get the community to literally be a part of the shows. So we really actually want to search for community members who are excited about certain games we're going to be covering and have them on. Like, it's just our way of just, making the community more interactive with us by just going live with us for these shows. Because really all the Patreon shows is about having as much fun as possible and kind of lets all our hair down, the lack thereof for me. It's mostly for you, you suave son of a gun. That said, it's time to square up the news.
First bit of news that needs to be squared up comes to us from Zarmina Khan over at PS Lifestyle. Zarmina writes, PS5 console is discounted across Europe, leading to speculations of new model. PS5 consoles have been discounted across Europe, leading to speculations that the rumored PS5 Slim or PS5 with detachable disk drive will indeed launch in 2023. A revised model has been rumored for a while, but Sony has not confirmed its existence. Over on Reset Era, users reported that PS5 has been discounted in the UK, Spain, Portugal, France, and Romania, among a number of other countries. A Brazilian user reported that the PS5 has been discounted in Brazil as well. It's widely assumed that Sony's clearing out inventory to make room for the new model. Meanwhile, VGC's Tom Ivan reports, the Xbox maker also said it believes Sony is preparing to launch a PS5 Pro console. Quote, PlayStation, meanwhile, currently offers two different versions of the PlayStation 5. One with a Blu-ray player for physical media, a standard, and one without, digital. And is anticipated to release further differentiated Pro and Slim models in the near future, end quote. Last month, Sony announced a new PlayStation streaming portable device, Project Q. It was described as a, quote, a dedicated device that enables you to stream any game from your PS5 console using remote play over Wi-Fi, end quote. While launch details and pricing weren't revealed, Microsoft said in its legal filings, quote, Sony is also anticipated to release a handheld version of PlayStation 5 later this year for under $300, end quote. In documents published as part of its legal battle with the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, the company said it expects the new PS5 model to cost the same as the existing PS5 Digital Edition console, which is $100 less than the standard PS5. Quote, PlayStation likewise sells a less expensive digital edition for $399.99 and is expected to release a PlayStation 5 Slim later this year at the same reduced price point, Microsoft said.
So those were coming out of the legal documents out of the FTC drama from last week. Now they've resurfaced here to kind of, boost up these rumors of speculation that these price drops mean Sony's clearing the warehouse. Do you kind of buy that at all, Kyle?
I do.
Do you think? Go for it.
I just find it strange that they're already discounting it after they hiked up the price,
right,
a few months ago. Obviously, I mean, not here in North America, but pretty much everywhere else. It's strange. I don't know what it could mean. I don't know. Did they do that last time, or did they discount it after the PS4 Pro was out?
Well, the thing that makes like the one thing that kind of perks my ears up a bit is like hearing that like, yeah, there's like these price reductions in these certain regions, because for what we've been hearing throughout the whole entire year is that like you can't find a PS5 in stock anywhere. And even now, the shortage is still, it's alleviated, but it's not perfect. Like, for example, I thought my PlayStation 5 was going to die the other week. For some reason, it literally had a mind of its own. It was going through menus. It was spamming everybody on Twitter with the share button, and all without the controller being plugged in. Don't worry, I found out it was actually my LG remote. But nonetheless, I was like, okay, well, if this thing's broken, I do have a PlayStation podcast I need to do coverage for. So I got to go find another PlayStation 5. The other PlayStation 5 was like in like Nanuet, New York. That's like miles away from me. So it's like, for me, it's hard to believe that they're having any problems selling these things.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, when do they expect this console? To me, the math doesn't add up, because usually you hear reports of, oh, here's a shell, of the console, right? Or here's this weird 3D thing that says patent all over it.
Or dev kit somewhere out there that got leaked out.
Exactly. And because we haven't seen any of that, and even if PlayStation like was on the verge to get these things out into the, into production, you probably see PlayStation announce it themselves. It's the reason why they announced the DualSense the way they did via a blog post, was because a week later it was entering into production. So to me, I actually don't see that as, anything sort of, maybe they're having issues selling it in those regions. And maybe this is going to help them during a dry, summer for them sales wise.
Yeah, I can see that. I also, just a random thought.
Yeah,
Well,
go for it.
everyone put your tinfoil hat on, just real quick.
Okay. All right, it's on.
They're discounting it across Europe. Is
Okay.
Xbox, they're currently having trouble with the merger happening, what, in UK?
In the UK, yes,
So
that is right.
would this be another, like,
Oh
a jab
no.
and be like, hey, let's discount PlayStation and make sure that's even overwhelmingly more
Yeah.
in people's hands, right?
No. I think when it comes to like all that stuff, all the dust is kind of settled at this point. Like we're all kind of expecting now, yet again, for this thing to go through.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I don't
So
believe
I don't think
that.
this
Let
is
me record clear. I
Yeah.
don't believe that's the reason. I just
Yeah.
put the tinfoil
Just
hat for a
spitballing.
second. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's more validity here though, where Microsoft is talking about, hey, PlayStation has got something going here. And I think this is a lot of them looking into the similar reports that we've been hearing that a PlayStation 5 Slim models, coming in this calendar year. That said, though, so I don't know if it's really something to base it off of. Though it made me remember, all right, there are two SKUs to the PlayStation 5 because when they said, hey, the new PlayStation 5 is going to be $400, quote unquote, the Slim, quote unquote, because it's going to be the PlayStation Digital, just you can buy a drive. Kyle, PlayStation's this new weird PlayStation. What do you think the odds are is they keep that $500 price tag even here with the digital version to force people into even further going and investing in the digital box?
Question.
Yes.
Is there only going to be a digital PS5 Slim?
So there's only going to be a digital version, but you could buy a disk drive attachment.
Okay, so no standard disk drive part of a PS5 Slim.
Correct. That SKU is dead. Now they're just focusing on this one.
It has to be close to the digital price, if not the same price. It has to.
Yeah.
It can't be more. It can't be. I mean, obviously it can be less, but I don't think it's going to be the standard $500 price tag. No way. If they do, they are dumb.
Oh, so I mean, here in the States, I feel like for the most part, we're pretty immune to a lot of the price hikes you usually see, other than the $10 thing for games. Like, you don't see the hardware going up in price yet. So yeah, to me, I don't think they do it in the States. I do think this is their way of saying, hey, look, it's kind of a cheaper price point, right? And kind of putting it out there for the other markets. And this is, again, them trying to very much and very bullishly go, digital's the future. This is what it's going to be. And we're really just trying to lock you down in the ecosystem. Now, one last question here, Kyle.
Yeah.
Microsoft, I want to know what you think about this. Microsoft was pretty bullish to say that PlayStation, like, it's like they have the documents in front of them, like the PlayStation, like they got the roadmap. They stole the map from Jim, where it said the Q Lite under $300. That, am I being too optimistic to think this handheld thing's going to be 200?
Yes.
Why? How much do you think it's going to be?
$299.
I knew you were going there.
I think either that or $249. If I want to throw a non-jokey thing out there.
Yeah.
If it does what it says it does and it does it well,
yeah,
I think in this day and age, 200 is too cheap of a price.
Sure.
But it's Sony. What do we do?
Yeah, it's Sony. They want to sell you
on. They have a right to do it. Like, I'm not
right. I have the right to
hold on everything. Yeah. So
I have the right to put this podcast behind a paywall. It doesn't make it right, my friends.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I think when it comes to the Q Lite, if this thing's $300, we're in trouble. And I feel like that's what the price is. But if it does, because I've been looking at the Logitech like handheld. It looks really great. I've heard nothing but great things about it. that thing's rocking at 300. So like if it's in that ballpark and it does exactly the same thing but PlayStationified that Logitech can do, then I'm on board with it. But if this is just, hey, remote play as we know it today, just in this handheld, boy, is that thing DOA.
Yeah. For reference, I just looked up because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
The Vita was $249 when it came out.
Mm.
So are we getting a Vita price point at that? Which again I could see, or we go all the way up to exactly $1 under 300 and $299.
Let's just pray to God to say if this thing is above 250, we're in trouble.
Agreed.
Again, if it's just
for
remote
not having
play.
Native games on it.
Yeah,
that's
because like I don't expect this thing to be like, oh, the Switch. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. I feel like people have unrealistic expectations to think that this one product's going to sell, 10 plus million units.
No.
It's not. So like, I'm also trying to put that into perspective. But yeah. So I do think the Slim, probably $399. It's a unified price. It gives off the illusion that it has maybe had a price cut when it actually hasn't for the average consumer. And the Q Lite is going to probably walk in with a bill of $250, hopefully. That's my guess. But
yeah,
listen, maybe those Microsoft lawyers know more than we think.
Follow up: if the Slim does come out later this year,
okay,
are we getting a bundled Slim with Spider-Man 2?
Well, let's hold our horses for later on in the show. Because,
okay.
Yeah, there is some afoot here, Kyle.
All right.
I cussed. I just found out my bleep button doesn't work. It's just another mute button, and that bums me out.
I heard it a little bit there, though. I heard the beep a little bit there. Earlier, I heard nothing.
All right, cool. Let me say another cuss. You heard it?
I heard nothing that time.
Damn it, that's a bummer. I gotta go back. I gotta go into the mainframe, fix this whole thing. All right, Kyle, let's talk about the next topic on the list here.
From Andy Robinson over at VGC, PlayStation Mobile has lost another top exec. PlayStation Mobile division has lost another top executive weeks after confirmation of a change of leadership. As reported by MobileGamer.biz, Mikhail Katkov, who was the managing director of recently acquired Savage Game Studios, has announced he's leaving the company less than a year after it was acquired by Sony. Quote, "I like to believe I've done my fair part in taking the company from 0 to 1, he said on LinkedIn. Now I'm eager to watch from the side as Najim and Mike take it from 1 to 100. In the same breath, I wish nothing but the best to Oliver Court-March and Chris Davis, who are leading PlayStation's charge onto mobile. Can't wait to play all the amazing games from all the fantastic developers," end quote. Although Savage is a relatively new studio established in 2020, it was co-founded by veteran mobile developers Katkov from Rovio and Zynga, Najim Ajir, Wargaming and Rovio, and Michael McManus from Wargaming and Insomniac. Confirmation of Katkov's exit comes just weeks after the news of a leadership change at PlayStation Mobile. Nicolas Sebastianini was a high-profile appointment when he joined in 2021, having previously led Apple Arcade. Over the past 2 years, Sony Interactive Entertainment has quietly built a team of experienced mobile talent, hiring people from Apple, Kabam, Meta, Tencent, Super Evil Megacorp, Samsung, Niantic, Zynga, Riot, and more. Is that a real thing? Super Evil Megacorp?
That's an awesome name. That's an awesome name. Because you know what? I bet they're all nice guys.
Exactly.
I bet they're all just the sweetest peeps over there. Like, no, we're actually pretty evil, eh? They're Canadian as well in my mind.
I'm trying to see what games they've played, because I might download some mobile games from them. They made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate.
Ooh,
mobile
right.
turtle game. Okay.
So, Kyle, this isn't great news.
No, it's not.
This is. I mean, last week we saw the literal head of this, thing just walk out the door mysteriously. We now have the one of the co-founders of a studio bought not even a year ago leave. That's really weird. That's really peculiar. If there's been like any, I don't know, I think this has been the biggest red flag waved. I want to know your take on what you've been seen the past few days out of this news.
It's not a huge red flag yet.
Okay.
I know that's shocking.
Yeah,
But
I'm shocked.
I know many companies that are bought out. A lot of the times, the head execs leave shortly afterwards. It's almost like they stay to bridge that gap and do
Mhm.
all that, and then once it finally happens, then they go off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So, like,
It-
I'm trying to view it that way. Not that I know for sure that that is what it is, but the fact that they still have execs in place that have a very successful library of work on the mobile front to still lead this charge. It'd be different if that was like the only exec in place under, PlayStation Mobile or at Savage Game Studios. So I'm not sounding the alarm bells yet, but it's definitely not the
yeah.
most encouraging thing in the world.
I gotta. One part of me is like, yeah, usually they're here to build the foundation, and they leave shortly after. But to me, it's not like, oh, and they leave a year afterwards, right? It's like a few years in, and then you start seeing people depart or move around, akin to like what we're seeing at Destiny, right? Destiny's taking some new roles within the Sony business, where they're taking a look at PlayStation first party and their output in terms of games and service, and seeing where things fit and seeing if things align and don't. But you're not seeing like, was it? You're not seeing like the co-heads start leaving, and that's where I'm kind of nervous here, where it's like, yeah, it seems like it's still fledgling, it's still growing, and there are still people just leaving without saying much. That being said, though, it's kind of like, Codemasters with EA. Once it got bought out by EA, you did see people leave shortly after, and they're still making, from what I'm aware of, good quality games. So I don't know what to make of this. I just want to say that if this turns out like a car wreck, I told you so. And if everything lands on its feet, I told everybody to keep calm and carry on.
For that reference, you brought up, oh my God, Codemasters. They made Dirt
Yes.
5, which I think you
Yes.
really enjoyed.
I love Dirt 5. I think they also make the F1 series, and then WEC, right, which is also another racing thing. And that's how you know how much I know about racing in cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait for that Gran Turismo movie.
Woo-wee.
It's still coming out, right?
Yeah. Don't worry, there'll be another state of play only on that trailer.
No, please, God. No. We're good. We're promised we don't need another.
Thank you for joining us for today's state of play. In the next 15 minutes, go behind the
I
scenes
could dust
of
him in a lap.
everything Gran Turismo.
The movie doesn't look good, guys. It just doesn't. I will not watch it. All right, Kyle. Here's one that'll get me excited. I hope that it gets you excited as well. So take it away.
Zormina Khan back again from PS Lifestyle writes, PS5 exclusive Rise of the Ronin, reportedly similar to Ghost of Tsushima and Assassin's Creed. According to a reliable leaker, upcoming PS5 exclusive Rise of the Ronin sought inspiration from the likes of Ghost of Tsushima and Assassin's Creed. Screenshots from the game as well as its release window have also been leaked. The Snitch, who's made quite a name for themselves with accurate leaks, claims that ROTR, Rise of the Ronin, gameplay will borrow elements from both Assassin's Creed and Ghost of Tsushima. The latter itself has been likened to Ubisoft's tentpole franchise from time to time. We're told to expect some similarities with Dark Souls as well, but it doesn't look like we're talking about difficulty here. According to the leak, Rise of the Ronin will come with multiple difficulty settings, romance options, and what was that? And skill and technique tree. A screenshot of the skill and technique tree has also been shared on Reddit. As far as the release window is concerned, the Snitch claims that Rise of the Ronin is currently planned for Q1 2024, and that Team Ninja is busy improving the game's fidelity. As we've come to expect, Rise of the Ronin will come with both performance and quality modes. Last but not least, Rise of the Ronin will reportedly come with plenty of side quests and missions for those who love to explore. You
I
muted.
muted myself because I'm a big dumb idiot. Kyle, I'll say it again for
Yeah.
the people in the back. Rise of the Ronin, looking like it's probably going to be my game of the year next year. Everything they're saying sounds like it is 110% up my alley.
Yeah.
What?
Throwing
I
it
don't like
out.
that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited for it. I'm excited about the games that they take inspirations from. But everything else is like, yeah, you know, most games have difficulty settings and romance options and a skill and technique. There's nothing like substantial yet. I need to see it in motion. Again, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Team Ninja is a little hit or miss.
They're more hit. They're way more hit, I would say.
Maybe I'm thinking Platinum is the one that's more hit or miss.
You're probably thinking Platinum.
Okay.
You're probably
I'm still excited for it. Again, the inspirations in the games that they're referencing is very I almost said inspirational. You know, exciting. The Dark Souls one is because it's not difficulty wise is where that's going. Do they mean like bonfires you're rusting at, or
perhaps? I know that like Team Ninja, first off, they made Neo 2 and
right.
Wulong, right? All excellent games. I don't think they hit on that level of, a Souls game, but they're not like hey, we have Souls at home kids, right? Like they're very competent. So like I have no doubt that this game's gonna be either very good or great. Right. When we're told some similarities of Dark Souls as well, I'm probably thinking in terms of how the combat is designed, like how it's mapped out on the triggers. So like your heavy hit would probably be R2, your light hit R1, that type of thing.
Dodge with circle.
Dodge with circle.
You,
Final Fantasy 16. I gotta be real,
but it's fine.
It's not the same. Please let me just remap any button to where I want.
Yeah.
Just modern games, please.
Yeah.
Because all I need is to remap R1 and circle with Final Fantasy 16, and I could be good at that game. But right now I can't, so I'm bad at that game. Like really bad, embarrassingly so. All because of one button. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, back here, what you said, Kyle, when we see it again. When do you think we see this game again? Because PlayStation's not going to be at Gamescom, which they haven't been. But they're also not going to be at the Tokyo Game Show in a big way. They're going to be
an indie representation.
Yeah,
right?
an indie-focused thing, but they're not going to be there either.
No. So
I want to know what you're thinking here, man. When do you think we're going to get more news from Rise of the Ronin?
If this is true and it's Q1 of next year, you gotta think there's going to be a state of play in late August, September.
One would assume.
That gives enough time to hype it up.
Yeah.
And it's that my benchmark for most of these are like, even though it wasn't everybody's favorite thing in the world, but like when Bethesda was like, here's Fallout 4, we'll see in 6 months when you get to play it. So kind of like that's my benchmark of like 6 months. Around there is kind of like the lead up to like announce something that could be possible, if I'm making any sense there. So I could see late August, early September, and that could even give them some time to like throw in some other, exciting things. Like you can imagine we're going to see Rebirth again.
True. Oh, man, maybe they learned their lesson from the last state of play that called itself a showcase.
That, Joe.
You're right. No, but I'm excited. I think we're gonna see it in September. July. We've had state of plays in July. Mm-hmm. You know what? Maybe even I can lend itself to early to late August, because PlayStation does have to reveal the Q Lite price, the new hardware. Mm-hmm. And no doubt we're going to see again more, Spider-Man.
Stellar Blade, where's that at?
Stellar Blade. So like there's still games. So PlayStation now needs to hype us up for the holiday at the same exact time. Let us know what's out for Q1, right? The March-ish area. So to me, it also depends, like, if they're like, oh, the Project Q, we're just gonna announce it in a blog post. Oh, the PS5
Which
Slim
seems
blog
like
post.
their MO in 2023.
And it hurts my soul when they
Every
do
time.
every time. Every
Every time.
time. So like we could have a state of play in August and September, or we could get a damn blog post.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it works so well for them. I wanna have the secret sauce. I wanna know the
Yeah.
formula.
Exactly.
By golly geez. All right, Kyle. Enough of Rise of the Ronin and
Okay.
how excited we are for
Mhm.
it. Let's talk about partnerships, Korea, all that good stuff. Stuff we know so much about. Take it away.
Oh yeah, so many things.
Right.
Ibrahim Kabir over at MP First writes, PlayStation pursuing partnerships in Korea. Sony Interactive Entertainment is reportedly shopping for PlayStation exclusives and third-party partnerships in Korea, according to a local news site. The company has been eager to expand its gaming business around the globe and has already struck a number of deals with Chinese and Korean developers, alongside looking for talent in India. One of the developers Sony is reportedly interested in is Pearl Abyss, which is about to launch Crimson Desert, and PlayStation is discussing plans, including investment in return for partial exclusivity on content, according to the same report. Pearl Abyss, developer of upcoming Crimson Desert, and Csoft, developer of PC MMORPG Blade and Soul. Oh my god, my eyes, really quickly, my eyes had an issue. It says com to US. I thought that said corn to US. I digress. Com to US, developer mobile game Summer's War, and NeoWiz Games, publisher of upcoming PS4 and PS5 Souls like Lies of P. Announced partnerships of PlayStation with Korean developers include Stellar Blade, aka Project Eve, which is being developed by Korean studio Shift Up and coming exclusively to the PS5.
I think this is super cool.
Yeah.
Like, there are more places. I think we've echoed this in the past. Like, there's more places than just Europe, US, Japan.
Uh-huh.
So seeing PlayStation Rumor go out there and partner with more, South Korean teams, looking at, they started the Indian Hero Project over in India. Like, they're looking at all these emerging markets and markets that are just untapped, and they're just like, why can't we do this?
Yeah.
Why can't we be a part of this? And you're seeing, rumor has it, NCSoft working on a MMO for PlayStation. So that all said, that all out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, where do you think? All right, because I'm still in acquisition city.
Oh, boy,
all right,
here we
I'm
go.
just still I'm window shopping. I'm like,
But-
ooh,
by the
CD
way-
Projekt said they aren't, but Hunter on Twitter said something that's probably false here, and it's getting my hopes up.
Can I ask you
Ooh,
a
wow.
question real quick about acquisition season?
What did Zuby Tech, copy and paste on Twitter today? Ooh, let me just go peer around.
Are all roads still leading to Square Enix in your eyes? We used to
Some
say that.
roads.
Okay, so
Yeah, some roads.
there's a couple
for
forks
sure.
here and there. All right.
What do you think?
When it comes to just in general or Square Enix?
Yeah. Where do you see the roads go for PlayStation here? Do you think you're going to see something in like South Korea? You're going to see something, in India? Where do you think?
Well, I think with these,
Mhm.
Ibrahim said it in there. I think similar to what they did with FromSoft, where they invest into it but don't completely own it for some sort of exclusivity here and there, own like a minor percent share of it, I think is probably the way to go with these.
Yeah.
And then down the road, pull a thing like when you buy a Housemark. Be like, hey, you did all these things for us, all these great things for us, hopefully, and we want you to be officially part of the team and do it that way. Yeah. I still think, I think the road's big picture-wise, I think they are going to Square Enix. I think a lot I think a lot of their games are they're skipping
already
out on Xbox
PlayStation
a lot.
Right.
If it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just so interesting because a lot of people are like, why to buy the cow? You get the milk for free. It's like, all right, Grandpa.
I also don't. I'm okay with no acquisitions either because I don't want to hear all the back and forth bullshit that's going to happen.
Yeah. To me, I think we're gonna see like PlayStation have again, like when we talk about what's next for PlayStation, which undoubtedly we'll get into in depth once this whole big deal is over. I think you're gonna see them make defensive, strategic investments in companies that they're partnered with significantly. So like I do think you see some type of reinvestment in Square Enix. I do think you're going to see them invest in other companies that they're close with to say, "Hey, stay with us, please. Hey, we could help you out here, we can help you out there. Here's some money there." And kind of, tie or tie those bridges together to kind of make sure that Microsoft can't just move in on their turf. So to me, it's way more interesting when we take a look at something like a Square Enix going, wow, Xbox was on the verge to buy them back a few years ago. Now Square Enix is not returning their calls. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
So I think when it comes to these partnerships here, I do think you're going to see PlayStation investing in these teams and it be a housemark situation of where like, hey, for example, I know NCSoft is way bigger. I'm just hear me out here. Hey, NCSoft, we really like what you've been doing. We work really well together. We gel really well together. Let's just put a ring on it. Oh, shift up, man. This game looks great. We've done well together. We dug your vibe across the bar. Now you're here with us. This is nice. This is great. Come be a part of the team. That's where I think these type of things are going. But I also need to stress to people when we talk about the acquisition like stuff is PlayStation strategy is not like Microsoft's, where PlayStation strategy isn't necessarily that they need to lock down content for their service. So like PlayStation's is far different than that. So I would say you probably don't get a big publisher thing.
Yeah.
Hey. Maybe you do. As again, as a defensive like deflect, but yeah. We'll see.
Still
we'll
preaching.
See. This
Go snatch up Ember Labs when you can.
Yep. Please. They're on their list from last week.
Yeah. Made me nervous.
That's it, Kyle. Speaking of lists and stuff, listen, it's summer months. We're into July, and there has already been so many amazing games that we've been playing. And I wanna just reiterate this. 2023 has been the greatest year in video games. I will die on that hill. People will be like, oh, 2008, oh, 2010, oh, 1996 or whatever. Mm-hmm. No, it is 2023. It's been treating us so well. Like there's already like 6, maybe even 7 games that we could go, oh, that's a game of the year contender right there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're in July. Like every single month, except for maybe February, we've had a game of the year caliber game release.
Yeah.
And I think that's just bananas. Yeah. So what I wanted to do a little different is talk about our top 10 games thus far. But I wanted to get a read from the community to see what their game of the year are so far. Kyle, would you like to take it away from our first listener, that is Chris the Wizard?
Absolutely. Chris the Wizard writes, hey fellas, hope you are both doing well. My game of the year is Jedi Survivor. It was the game I couldn't put down until I beat it. I played the demo for Final Fantasy 16, and let's just say if I buy it, that might be my vote for your award show, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. The Muffin Man, Mr. Kevin Ainsworth, writes, my current game of the year is Trails of Azure, which is simply a masterpiece of a JRPG. I finished Final Fantasy 16 on Monday and want to know, who are your guys' favorite character in the game so far, and why is that Jill? That's weird, Kevin, that you misspelled Sid, but Jill is a very close second.
I'm partial to Goots.
Goots? You're like a Goots guy?
I like the big, dumb, soft-spoken.
Fair enough. All right.
Real answer is Clive, but...
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And while you read the next one, I got to step away from just a second. Take it away.
Okay. Mama bad bit. Misbehaving again. The Green Gorilla Gamer goes, "Sup, boys? 2023 is halfway through. I've had a pretty great year so far, all things considered. And even though I haven't touched 2023 titles, I'm looking back on my top games that I've played so far while I play through my ever-growing and massive backlog." Which is okay. It's okay for your game of the year not to be a 2023 game. That was me, not Green Gorilla. I played more than this, but there are 10. But these are the 10 that stand out from the first half. They are in order. Top games I played this year: Last of Us Part 1, Marvel's Spider-Man: The City That Never Sleeps, Inscription, Casey's mod, Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception Remastered, Rubber Bandits, oh, I've never heard of that game, Dead Cells, finally played on console, Ape Out, Limbo, Need for Speed Heat, and BioShock Remastered. On top of your guys' top 10 lists, I'm also very excited to hear your thoughts on Synapse, because if that game is what I think it is, going off the trailer, I'm pretty stoked for that game. That'll be all, gentlemen. Happy Independence Day, and I hope the rest of both of your weeks are joyful.
Thank you. We'll never forget you, Bill Pullman.
Yeah. We will never not go quietly into the night.
That's right. God damn, the most inspirational speech from the dumbest movie if you ever think about it too hard.
Is cinema at its finest. I love that.
Hey, remember when they
watch that tonight?
Oh, absolutely. You're not American. That's part of when you do the citizen test. That's what they go watch Independence Day.
That sequel might be the biggest letdown I think I've ever had.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because I remember them saying, "Hey, we're gonna make a sequel. We're gonna put Liam Hemsworth in it." And for some reason, not, well, at the time, Will Smith had better standing. Not put Will Smith in it, and then all of a sudden they were just like, never mind.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna ruin a good thing, and they never did. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's what I like to believe.
Other timeline. Kyle's happy.
Yeah, right. Still Canon writes, "It was Tears of the Kingdom, but having finished Final Fantasy 16 yesterday, it's a strong contender. Diablo 4 will depend on what Season 1 brings, but I like their their activity on patches." Ooh-wee. Yeah. Okay, Kyle. So here we are. We need to make our top 10 list, the best PlayStation games in 2023 so far.
Yeah.
You like that pregnant pause?
That was a very long pause.
So I want to talk about, I want to do one at a time and then do some honorable mentions.
So it's 10 combined.
10 combined.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like the whys, the why nots. And I'm going to also throw this in here. Again, PlayStation. So none of this, like Zelda who? What a foolish name,
Why is it called Zelda when you play as Link?
I don't even know.
Should be called Legend of Link.
That's right. All right. No, we're not bringing that voice back.
The acronym would be LOL.
Yeah, see, it's dumb. All right, Kyle, I want to talk about one that is, I think we got to start this countdown with. Countdown.
Yeah. These are not in any particular order either.
No order.
Yes.
No order. Because I don't even want people to get a vague idea.
Nope.
Well, no, I've been saying it a lot. But like, I don't want people to have the idea. It could go either way for me.
Okay.
Of what my game of the year is. Okay.
So far.
So let's start with number 10, the obvious pick. Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Yep.
Wowie, wow. What a game, man.
It made a game that we both first experienced on this show a few years ago during the pandemic, which we did enjoy, but thought it could be updated a whole bit. This version of RE4 is damn near perfect. It's
definitive.
It's incredible.
This is 100%. It's the greatest horror game ever made. Now I understand now, guys. My eyes have been opened.
Yeah.
It's so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Just wow. They understood the assignment, and I think what I've gotten from people, the OG fans of this game, is just like, this game's definitely a remake, but it's not like it's 1-to-1. Like they take sections out of this game and bosses out of this game and put new ones in there that you didn't expect. And so it keeps it fresh while at the same exact time, it still delivers what feelings that original game delivered. And so when I think of, Resident Evil 4, it has to be here, man. I think this, it may damn near be one of the greatest remakes, if not the greatest remake ever made.
Yeah. I not even like the boss reimagining either. My favorite thing that game did, it was very early on, is with the bell tower in the village,
Yeah.
where it falls, and that doesn't happen in the original, and it
Right.
warps your brain and your memory of the first game and be like, okay, where do I have to go now?
Yeah.
And
at the same exact time,
because it's in on the joke a little bit.
Yeah, because like the thing about like Resident Evil 4 and just a lot of the Resident Evils is like it's such a good B movie like setup vibe characters, yet it's still terrifying, yet it still just feels so great to play. And right after that tower falls and you see the title card, you see Leon go, where are they going to? Bingo night?
Yeah, exactly.
Like what?
Yeah.
And it tells you exactly what this game is gonna be, and I think all the voice actors just absolutely nailed their parts here. So Resident Evil 4, come on,
easy one.
What about you, bruh?
I think so far, I gotta start things off with an indie on my side of things.
Fair enough.
Dredge is one of the best games this year. A game that I notoriously don't play a whole lot. It's a fishing game, but it's a horror fishing game. It is so creepy and unsettling and unnerving, and the story that it tells is really, really fun and engaging, and it has that really. The mechanics are fairly simple, right? Go fish out when the sun's out. Take your fish, sell them for most money, upgrade your ship, go about your business. But the moment the sun goes down is when the horrors start coming out at night, and the giant fish are coming, and the unspeakable things come after you that you don't expect at first. And I see a joke loading in Joe's brain.
Go on. Think of what dark things lie in this cranium right now.
Many things. Maybe a submersible somewhere.
Bingo. Won't say it.
And the fact that if you don't go to sleep, you're gonna go crazy and start seeing things and whatnot. Like a game that I just heard a lot of hype for, didn't watch a trailer or whatever, went in blind and had a fantastic time. It has that very fun gameplay mini game loop. It's great. Everyone should play Dredge.
Yeah. You think they're gonna have a submarine DLC? God damn it! I couldn't help myself.
There is DLC.
Oh, is there
Not
really?
out yet, but yeah.
All right. Here's my next one, Kyle. You ready?
Yeah.
Have you seen this? I've heard about this one. It's a game we're going to be talking about this weekend over at patreon.com/PS Review.
Yep.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Wow. This game is so good. It's a feat. Listen, and I know you're fighting because you're like, I really like this game, but there are some obvious problems, i.e. the bugs and the glitches. Totally get you. They're there.
Yeah.
They're prominent.
Yeah.
And they're still annoying a few months after release, right? That being said, though, overall, man, as a Star Wars fan, this gave, I think, all Star Wars fans the power fantasy that we all love, which is being a Jedi on the run, being a Jedi that's trying to not bring order together, but just to survive. I think it tells one of the best stories in a Star Wars. And I really get annoyed when I see on social media people going, oh, Star Wars, they can't tell. They're so afraid to tell a story that's not with the original six. It's like, you haven't seen Andor. You obviously haven't seen Rebels. And let me tell you something. You have not played Star Wars Jedi series because it's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I think this story in particular tells something that gives you a really good gray area that I think most Star Wars fails to give folks, which is like, a real question of, did I do the right thing? and you can go either way. It's a not black or white issue. It's a shade of gray, and I think it works really well. So Jedi Survivor. That is my number 2, my number 7 pick.
Remember when I said I have a hot take?
Oh, sorry, that was number
Number 8.
8. Sorry, yeah.
Earlier, the tease in the pre-show.
Yeah,
it's about Jedi Survivor.
Don't hurt me.
I'll save it for the Road to Greatness.
No, say it right now. Say it right now, and then like just say your piece.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the Days Gone of 2023, where it's being held back by performance issues. It's a great game, but I have such a bad taste in my mouth because of the performance and the bugs that literally set me back hours, and I had to straight up take it out of my PlayStation, going for the platinum because I had enough. So I will wait until all that's fixed, and then I'll sing its praises. But right now, to me, there was so many bugs that cost me progress, and it bums me out because I love everything else about it.
I think that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah,
honestly, Kyle, because you're right. Like, these are issues that, like, if someone's listening to this episode a year from now, they're like, what do you mean? I played it the other day and it's great. It's like, but in the moment right here, right now, there's still issues with it, and that's a bummer. But for the narrative, like, god damn, this did something for me. So, Kyle, what's the number 7?
I mean, come on, let's stop dancing around it. I'm not even done. According to Joe, I'm just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 is not only one of the best games this year, it's one of the best games I've played in recent memory. It's so damn good.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a Final Fantasy game. We talked about that last week. It's fantastic. I have some nitpicks, but not enough to be like, this is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. I have some nitpicks in terms of, so Final Fantasy 16 is also here for me as well. So now I got to rethink of something fast. But, for me, when I think about Final Fantasy, I'm not a huge Final Fantasy fan, and this game has inspired me so much to go out there and pick up the pixel remasters, which like before this I had no desire to do, but like it's lit a fire under me to go out there and purchase these gosh dang games. So like. Final Fantasy 16, I think, is incredible. I think the story is its strongest suit. At the same exact time, though, there are, and I definitely know I'm in the lull point, where it's a bit boring for right now, and I'm hoping it picks up soon, because right now it seems like the Andromeda quest of like, I've been doing some like non-hype things for the last hour. Let me see a hype thing. Which, when you see those moments, when you see those cinematics, you're just like, you put the controller down and you're just feasting.
Yeah. Yesterday, and I won't spoil it all, just say is I accepted the truth last night.
Yeah.
And oh my God, that whole section, my jaw was on the floor. I'm like, not only is this game gorgeous, the music is perfect. It adds so much to the combat and out of combat. And the story that they're telling, and the character of Clive is one of the best main protagonists. I can go on and on and on. It's really special, and I feel bad that I was so hesitant like last year or so. I was very.
I will say this: I was at a certain point, and Kyle, you'll get real proud of me, and because I understood I understand the reference. It felt like the Voldemort v Dumbledore fight, but in cinematic Square Enix form. And I was just like, this is some of the most beautiful thing I have seen a video game. Like, it's just thing. Like, it's just awesome. I love this game. Though I will say, I do want more RPG mechanics in this game. It is very RPG light. Yep. And I think someone on Twitter posted it. I think it's funny because it's true. It's like, this game had obvious inspirations of God of War, and God of War had obvious inspirations to like Final Fantasy in terms of their RPG mechanics in Ragnarok. I remember one of the God of War devs actually coming out and saying that. I'm like, yeah, thinking about it, yeah, like there's a lot more RPG mechanics at play in Ragnarok than in this game.
Yeah,
and I think that is the only bummer.
That is.
I hope.
Yeah, I'm
you know,
sorry. That is one of my nitpicks for sure. It's not too heavy on RPG ness. Also, I feel maybe just a tad bit too linear.
Yeah.
In the open world or the world's bridging sections. And I'm a sucker for a good inventory. And like,
oh yeah,
maybe it changes, and it changed a little bit in the section I played yesterday, but like, oh, I'm gonna go over that shiny thing on the ground. Oh, $2. Cool. I'm
yeah.
sorry, 2 gil. Great. I'm so glad I
Whoa,
ran all the way
don't
over
spend
here
it
for
all
that.
in one place. Yeah,
And like the chest only being like, crafting materials is it's a little bit of a bummer.
yeah, yeah.
But the whole
Other than that,
package is stellar though.
yeah, I think the story it's telling, the characters that are telling them, and the combat itself is just so damn good that I wish I was just good in the game.
Yuna in
That's
chat real
it,
quick
pal.
is saying, are you finding the game too easy?
No, because I'm dying a bunch because I suck because the dodge button's at R1 and not circle.
That's fair.
And I know you're like, it's been like 16, maybe even 20 hours at this point. I should have gotten used to it by now. I just my brain is hardwired.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. Yeah, I get it.
That said, number 6. Let's give a shout out to the Dead Space remake, man. Motive, y'all did the damn thing. Dead Space remake is also incredible. It takes everything that you remember from the first game and just modernizes it. In I think it doesn't take as many liberties as Resident Evil 4 remake, and I think the reason why I'm so high on Resident Evil 4 remake is because to me I did experience it like a fresh new game. Where Dead Space, it's like, yeah, I remember this, I remember that. It's like I'm the tour guide, but in a creepy haunted house. But in the ways of where they modernized it, like traversing in the zero gravity portions that were just frustrating even back then are fixed and streamlined here. Making Isaac now a voice character like he was in Dead Space 2 also helps alleviate some of the mystery or some of the story in this game, and I think it's better for it. So to me, Dead Space remake, as well as the game that got me into horror, it needs to be on this list. So, yeah.
I played through Dead Space for the first time with this game. Had a great time with it. I understand why you love it so much and so many people do, because it definitely is a horror ass game.
Like, to me, Dead Space is way more like horror than Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah.
It's scary.
It's very scary.
Hi, Kyle.
Number 5.
What say you? What's number 5?
Man, I'll save it because it's part of your list, so I'll let you bring that one up. But I'll go with the same franchise.
Ooh.
Horizon Call of the Mountain is pretty damn cool.
Really?
Again, haven't finished it. Okay. But I wanted to give some love to a VR title, and I'm not too far into the game we're going to talk about later, so I don't want to include it now. But I feel like that is one of that had that same feeling of the first time I played VR. Yeah. Where I put it on and I was just amazed at how this game looks and the technology behind it, and feeling like I am in the world of Horizon.
Yep.
And reaching back and grabbing the bow is a cool feeling. Fighting the robot dinosaurs are awesome. The machines. Yeah. It's a real special VR game.
It really is. And though I don't think it's maybe the best PSVR title, it's definitely up there. And it's definitely something for fans of Horizon in that world. Mm-hmm. When you just see it, like firsthand, where you're like in the headset, you can't help but just be blown away at the visual fidelity that you're seeing on screen. Yeah. Like, it's just so beautiful. It's just so crisp. And you're right. Like, this game is great. And the characters in it aren't as shallow as you typically would think for a PSVR title. So yeah, Horizon Call of the Mountain is great. And I'm also going to throw Horizon Burning Shores as the next game.
I also have it on my list too.
Dude, number 4, right? Is it number 4?
Yep.
Yeah, there you Number 4, Horizon Burning Shores. My God, dude, this game is freaking great.
Yeah.
It is stunning, it's beautiful, and it's finally, I think, to me, walking away from it, I'm like, yeah, Forbidden West should not have been a cross, PS5, PS4 game, because you really do see in certain sections this game take complete advantage of the PlayStation 5 tech, especially diving in and out of water with ease.
Yep.
That is crazy on a physics system level,
And
that they're able to just crush.
The last boss fight as well is insane.
Epic.
Yeah.
Insane. And I want to give a great a big shout out to, I believe her name is Kaylee, who voices Sekia, who is just we need her in more things.
Yes.
She killed it in that role. So yeah, Horizon.
And some of my favorite visual settings in the Horizon universe.
Yep.
The old Dino Park is incredible. One of my favorite sections of any game.
Yes.
For sure. It's well worth your time, for sure.
Yeah.
What is this, number 3?
Right, I think this is number 3.
Okay, in no particular order.
No particular order. Talk to me.
Oh, boy.
Talk to me, Kyle.
I'm going to go with not a Joe game, because it makes you feel things. I'm going to Space for the Unbound.
Okay.
The game was very early this year. I still think about that game and the feelings it made me feel, and the story of Nirmala. Speaking of early the last story where we're talking about PlayStation looking at talent in Korea and the games being made there, an Indonesian team where the game takes place in Indonesia. It's like a slice of life thing, and just the characters are written so well, and you feel for their story of Atma and what he's going through, and it goes some serious places, and it's real special. So if that's your type of game, and again, I hate when Joe loads a joke when I'm talking about a sad thing.
What's their name?
Atma and Nirmala.
Oh, okay.
What do you think I said?
Nothing. I'm gonna keep that joke loaded in. It may be insensitive. Is it like a fantasy world?
No, it's in Indonesia.
Oh, it's in Indonesia. Okay, I was about to be insensitive. All right.
Yeah.
Well, now that joke's not funny enough. I thought this was like a fantasy world.
No.
All right, fair enough. Look at me.
There are fantasy things that happen, but it is based in Indonesia.
I saw the line. I was like, do I want to get canceled?
In your head,
and
you were no longer a podcast host.
Exactly. And then I was just like, oh, okay, that's a real name. I'm just dumb. And then I backed away. You saw that? I was like, oh, you actually see it live in real time. Joke's no longer funny. Bam. It's gone.
Good.
Be proud of me is what I'm saying.
There's growth today, everybody.
You saw growth today, okay? I could have been a real slimy piece of trash, but I decided to clean the trash instead, because you know what, Kyle? I forgot our list kind of merged into one a little bit with Final Fantasy 16, knocked it all through a loop. So let's talk about one together, okay? Let's talk about one that
we don't
share
one though.
Well, but we're about to. Well, trust me, just go with me here.
Okay.
Right? Let's talk about Power Wash Simulator, dude.
Oh, I was gonna leave that for an honorable mention.
No, well, because we both have Final Fantasy 16, I didn't notice. So,
but you still have one left, so that would be yours, and then I have one left.
Yeah, but we're at number 3. We're on number 3, right? Oh wait,
no, that your number 2 would be the one you have left, and then I have one last one.
Oh, never mind. You know what? Forget Power Wash.
We'll talk about it. Honorable mention. It's great.
Yeah, honorable mention. It's great. Oh my God, spraying a bus can't get enough. Let's talk about something I've always had a steady feeling on, right? Like Diablo, I said it. It's like, even before the game came out, it's like, it's my game of the year. And I've never been so sure about something in my life, and then getting it and going, yeah, it met every single one of my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
It met every single one of them, and then some. Diablo 4, I'm a huge Blizzard fan, and this, to me, is like a return to form for that group, for that developer, and for the Diablo franchise, which it's not like Diablo 3 was bad. Diablo 3 is great. But Diablo 4 just layers it in something that looks uniquely Diablo. What I mean by that is there was this time in Blizzard history with the success of World of Warcraft that everything began looking the exact same without it. Like, for example, Diablo 3 started to look a lot Warcraftified, lightened up. And you saw, like, with one of the World of Warcraft expansions, you're like, this kind of looks like Diablo now. Like, everything was like blending into one. Diablo 4 just looks like how you remember Diablo looking back with Diablo 2. And I think, though the story isn't my favorite, I think when it comes down to the moment-to-moment action of the game and the systems that are at play, it is incredibly versed into what it wants, what the player wants it to be. And what I mean by that is, like, if you are a hardcore Diablo fan, there's systems in this game that will, you'll lose hundreds of hours into. Or if you're a casual fan, you'll play that campaign going, all right, that was a good time, and walk away with it, or walk away from it. It's so good at just letting the player engage with it on the terms that the player wants to engage with it in. And so, to me, Diablo 4 is, man, it's it, man. It's so damn good. Even playing Final Fantasy 16, and I'm loving that game, I still get ripped away in going back to Diablo 4. It's just so stellar. I got to get that sorcerer to level 100 and get that barbarian to 50, and then I got the plat. So
Ooh.
that should tell you how much I'm loving it. And Kyle, do you want an hour count on Diablo 4?
Oh, where were we last time? Were we at 80 something?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna guess 112.
I have a problem.
Oh no.
173. So
I'm sorry.
listen, dude, I know life did for a good 3 days straight. That's all I did.
I get it though.
That's
it is
all
addicting.
I did.
It is addicting.
Oh my god.
As
you're,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, because you're just like, oh, I'll just do like 30 minutes for, like as I wait for like the world boss to appear, then all of a sudden I'm there for 3 hours.
Yeah. As this is my first Diablo, I can see why people love it so much. The loop isn't getting there yet for me, but there's something in the back of my head like, yeah, let's go back. So eventually, but to round up our top 10, a game that is pulling me away from Final Fantasy. So much so that I've already put in 50 hours.
Oh.
A game that has been released everywhere but PlayStation until last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yep, last week. Yeah,
That's
talk about
wild.
it.
Rogue Legacy 2 is the best sequel I think ever made. From what the type of game that it is. Right? Celador Games.
Roguelite.
It's
correct?
A roguelite. It is the
I know you
roguelite.
talked about it. Yeah.
It is. It to me, it's like the one that everyone is chasing to be.
Oh wow.
Cellar Games made everything that made the first one great, just amplified it to like 100. Like every single class has like a switch of it, like, right? So like you could be a barbarian, but eventually you can unlock it to be turned into a fighter. A chef can turn into a waiter and has a different kind of style to it. It's incredible. And it's very difficult. Don't get me wrong.
It's still a roguelite at the end of the day.
It's still a roguelite. The bosses are super cool. And the really fun thing is where if you beat it enough times or you do some of the other game modes, here's the thing about it. There's so many things to make you keep playing. Right? They have special game modes called like, it's called Thanatopia, I think. Mm-hmm. But basically
I'll take your word for it.
There's two different things with different modifiers. I forget which each one is, but you have to beat the game in 15 lives or less.
Oh, wow.
And then there's another one called True Rogue Mode, where it's 1 life. So it's like permadeath. And then you have to restart that way. All those are trophies, and I have all those trophies. Because here's the thing. I beat the game legit, so no one can yell at me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was a thing in this game called house rules. It's
What's
like
house
their
rules?
accessibility thing, where you can,
Okay.
mess. It's kind of like Celeste, where you can change how many dashes you can do, whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a thing in this one where you can turn off touching an enemy damages you, and that is a game changer. Because without it, like you're just barely touching them and you're getting hit.
Sure.
So you turn that on, and then I'm just wrecking shop. it's incredible.
You go for that plat, I see.
I'm gonna try. There is a lot of
Okay.
hoops to jump through, though.
Okay.
A lot of hoops, but it's to me this is going to be my symbolic plat with all those modifiers on, because I will never platinum the first game. The first game is one of my favorites of all time.
Right.
Rogue Legacy 2 is great. If you have PS Plus, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Download the game.
And Alan Wake, let's go.
Yes, please.
That's that.
Please play it. Let me know how you like it, because the games mean a lot.
So the top 10 PlayStation games so far in 2023, definitive, is Resident Evil 4 Remake, Jedi Survivor, Diablo 4, Dead Space, Final Fantasy 16, Horizon Burning Shores, Horizon Call of the Mountain, A Space for the Unbound, Dredge, and Rogue Legacy 2. Bam. Now, Kyle, here's one question from Lurian, and I'm gonna, because we're going a tad bit long, I'm gonna narrow it down to one thing. Whatever.
Firewatch Simulator is great. Humanity is also great. MLB The Show is fantastic.
Hell yeah. Lurian writes, what are your dark horse candidate for the second half of 2023 for the indie VR multiplayer and single player space? All of it. What do you think is going to be the dark horse candidate that's going to end up surprising people more than we think it's going to? My bet, Kyle, is I actually think Lies of P is going to be, it's going to be that game, because the developers have already stated, like, hey, we heard some of your complaints about the demo, and trust me, this game glowing, like a lot of people loving it, and they're like, and we're on it, and we're already fixing it. It's like I love that. They are their ears to the ground. So I think Lies of P is going to be that dark horse candidate that we don't think about until it's here, and I think it's going to hopefully sweep some people off their feet. There you go.
Yeah. Not exactly a super, like, it's not a dark horse, but I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take some votes at the end of the year.
Ooh, okay.
With all the amazing things we just talked about and elsewhere, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to have a lot of support behind it. I'm super excited.
All right. Yeah. Dude, yeah, they're like, we have 170 hours of just cinematics. Yeah. And I'm like, that's great. That's a way to scare me from your game.
Now, Joe. Are you kidding me?
Sure.
Oh my god, they're literally dragons.
All right.
Oh my god.
I'm happy for you.
Oh my god.
You'll be playing that. I'll be playing Starfield. Yeah. We're all gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
All gonna have a good time.
And why did I forget about that? Silcana in chat. Yeah, Sea of Stars. 1,000%
oh my god.
is going to
100.
take some
votes. God, it's gonna be so good.
I forget. All right. So many RPGs. Oh my god.
So many RPGs. So little time. That said, it's time for some flash news. Gotta run fast. Goodness. Okay. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 going to San Diego Comic-Con. Comic-Con returns between July 20th and the 23rd, while Marvel has revealed some of the panels that will be running in San Diego Comic-Con. All we know is that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will be making an appearance at the show. The company has promised more information on Spider-Man 2 and Marvel Snap soon. Now, I saw some Spider-Man accounts going, hey, y'all, listen, this is usually, or last time, not usually, last time we got Spider-Man news, or, game news at Comic-Con, we got revealed of the console, the special edition console. So my question for you here, Kyle, will we see the limited edition Spider-Man 2 PS5 that we won't be able to pre-order because it's on the on PlayStation Direct and it hates us?
Oh, I hate it so much. It hurts.
I know. This is a fate worse than death.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, same.
No, I do think we'll get maybe a look at some other villains.
Okay.
Maybe. I hope we don't see too much though.
Yeah. Maybe give us one little trailer.
Yeah.
Just a little, just the smallest thing. Like, oh, here's like the
get Tony Todd out there to talk about Venom a little bit. Yeah, that's all I need.
But just tell him not to talk too much.
Yeah.
We don't need to spoil the whole goddamn thing, Tony.
Don't do that.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get the console there. I would love to, but I think that PlayStation is the redesigned version. So maybe, who knows? PlayStation drops some news after the July 4th week.
Yeah, maybe
that maybe tomorrow they'll be like, "Hey, look at what we dropped on the blog." But nah, I don't think it's gonna be there, unfortunately. Xbox exclusive Scorn is coming to PlayStation 5 later this year. A release date has yet to be confirmed for the PlayStation 5 version of Scorn, but given it will be subject to any exclusivity period on Xbox, it's unlikely to come anytime before October 14th, 2023. Nope, no thank you. I'm good.
Yep, nope. Don't tell me all the haptic feedback. No, I'm good. Yep. I don't care.
No, don't. Nope. Too much slimy Geiger penisy objects for me.
No, thank you.
But hey, listen, if that's your jam,
yeah.
All right, go
Wake
for
me
it.
Up when there's a VR mode. What? I'm sorry. What? Hold on.
Whoa.
Hold on. What?
Hold on. All right. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is reportedly getting a remake. Sources has told Kotaku, who claimed the remake of the 2013. Why are you shaking your head?
Continue.
Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna say a team at Ubisoft Singapore, one of the studios that worked on Black Flag specifically, its boating gameplay, it will reportedly be heavily involved in helping modernize the game. Yes, I love this game. Do it. Everybody's like, oh, now we're remaking PS4 games. Yes, we are making PS4 games. It
also came out on PS3 like a week before PS4.
Exactly. It was come on.
Yeah, no.
It's like Last of Us Part 1. Do we need it? No. Am I glad it exists? Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going to play the hell out of this. The reason I'm shaking my head, though, is...
Go for it.
You can't get the other boat game out, Skull and Bones. Focus on getting that one out. But also...
Yeah.
You're telling me you're going to remake this.
Yeah.
A game that, yes, is very dated. And not the first game that so badly needs it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather the first Assassin's Creed get a remake before Black Flag.
Yeah.
That
Put
game
respect
needs
on
it.
Altair. Yeah. I 100% agree. That said, last bit of news here. Okay. Last of Us Part 3 motion capture kicking off this year. Leakers have doubled down on their claims that Last of Us Part 3 is in development, with one going as far as to claim motion capture work will begin this year. Rumors started swirling again over the weekend after a leaker claimed it'll introduce at least 5 new characters. And they go into pretty big depth here, so I'm not going to say the rest here, but come on, guys, no duh.
Yeah.
To me, they need to finish The Last of Us because that show's going to catch up to it pretty fast. So, yeah, I do think Last of Us Part 3 is probably the end of The Last of Us, like Naughty Dog handling it. But, yeah, I hope.
Nice little trilogy.
Yeah, because I don't want Naughty Dog just to be The Last of Us studio. Let them do other stuff. All right, Kyle, here's a little segment called What You've Been Playing. And let me tell you something. A lot of Final Fantasy 16, a lot of Diablo.
A lot of Rogue Legacy, yep.
A lot of Rogue Legacy. But there's one game in particular that we've both been playing, which is Synapse, made by Dreams, which is the same team that made games like Frack. So, Kyle.
Code provided, by the way.
Code provided by Dreams. Thank you so much, team, over there. I've beaten it. You haven't. Mm-hmm. So maybe you should steer the ship for this
sure.
one. Yeah. Just a little bit of, description. This is a roguelite first-person shooter in VR. That's what this game is solely on, which I didn't know walking in this was going to be a roguelite game, but it is. So that's the description. Kyle, take it away from me.
So I've only played maybe an hour and a half. Not a ton, because it's real hot. And playing VR with no AC in this room, could not be me. But while I was playing, it is so visually gorgeous. The monotone, grayscale levels with just pops of what I like to describe as like the default iPhone wallpaper or the iPad box thing with like the blues,
Yes.
reds, and
The
purples,
blue, reds, vivid
like a heat
colors. Yeah.
map almost.
Yes.
It's gorgeous and it plays extremely well. So, like Joe said, it's a roguelike shooter, and it's basically, from what I've played, you have to rid the level of all the enemies before you can move on, and you have to get through 9 levels,
Yes. Yeah.
to reach consciousness, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Because there's something weird going on with a CEO of a company, I think.
So what's happening here? The whole premise of the game is you need to stop a terrorist attack from
That's
happening.
what it is. Yep.
So you have to jump into the mind of a terrorist to get the coordinates to stop this attack. But it may not be all that it seems.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know where I got CEO from. It's really cool though. Like VR, it's a shooter, obviously. So, you can grab anything, can be cover with the L1 and R1, and you can kind of pull yourself down and then pull yourself up and shoot and duck. And it's also fluid, and it doesn't really. A lot of times in VR, when you're doing that, when cover is tied to a button, it's not all that smooth. Like there is some stuttering here and there. It is so smooth to go down and up and telekinetically, where you can pick up objects and throw them and use them to like bat people around, are great. The triggers of like getting explosive barrels, and you have to lightly pick them up or else they're going to explode. But when you do want to explode, the feeling of the triggers of like really having to crunch down feels like you're crunching the explosive barrel, which I love.
They do such a good job with the haptic triggers here. So, when it comes to like grabbing things lightly, like there's an ability you get, like enemies will lob grenades to you and you catch them with your psychic abilities, and you just lightly hold it. You lightly hold on that trigger, and then you detonate it by pressing the trigger all the way down. But there's a nice little stop motion that goes, hey, whoa, anything further, this thing's gonna blow up in your face.
Reloading is super fun too.
Like, it's like a reloading it in real life. Like
you just hit it up with your other hand if you're completely out, or you can hit circle, eject, and then just kind of reload with the other hand, which is great.
And the thing that's awesome here is like the button, you hit circle like it's a slide of a pistol, and you actually feel it go slide down. And then with your other hand, you toss the mag back in and you're ready to go.
Left hand, you just
that was wild.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Left hand, you can kind of rotate up, palm up to the sky, and by doing that's where your mini map lies. You feel so cool,
right? It's your mini map. It's your health. It's the little
how many enemies are remaining. Your in-game currency to get upgrades or ammo mid-run if you need it. Game pretty damn good. It's a good VR game.
Yeah, it evolves so well. So like if you're being scared off by the term roguelite, don't be scared. Because at the end of the day, this is, again, it's, I think, a great entry point into VR and into the roguelike genre, because it's not as like in depth as, let's just say, like a Hades is, for example, because what it's really wanting you to do is go, hey, here's a sandbox we made. Here's these enemies that we put in there. Have fun. Go have force powers, right? like go toss people around. Like, one of the things that I love doing is grabbing enemies and then just throwing them up in the air. And in the beginning of this game, Kyle, it very much is like, take cover. And when you're taking cover, it feels smooth. You're not getting motion sick at all.
No.
Shout out to this game. And as you unlock things with every playthrough that you do in this game, you gain more powers, which changes up the game entirely. So there's one portion where like, all I got is this little pistol. Now I got this submachine gun. So now I'm playing maybe a little bit more aggressive. Now I got the shotgun, which means I got to get close to people. Now I got a grenade launcher, which is like, hey, would you like an easy mode? Because it's still fun. Like, don't get us wrong. And to me, halfway through, I was like, play it like Doom. And that's what I was doing. I was playing it like 2016 Doom. And I'm like, let's just speed run this. And when you clear out levels, the faster you get clear a level, the more
I
like
forgot what it's
points that you
called.
get.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forget what it's. I'm just gonna call them ooblets.
sure.
The more ooblets that you acquire, then you can make your character more powerful in that run. And the more crazy stuff that you do, so for example, like there's little mini achievements in the game that unlock permanent currencies so that you can gain more powers or better health or more guns. So like it awards you to go out there and experiment with your powers. And it's just it does everything that you want a VR game to do well. So like for example, there's a climb mechanic. And though you're not climbing often,
No.
it feels as good as Horizon Call of the Mountain. You know, the shooting mechanics in this game are the best that I've gotten in a VR headset. Like it's or in a VR game. You know, the story as well, it's serviceable. It's not like the greatest thing on planet Earth here, but it's still got David Hayter.
Yeah.
And oh my god, Femme Shep herself. Why am I blanking on her name?
Oh my god.
Jennifer Hale. Thank you.
Ooh, look at that. Same
So
time.
like it's like I got Femme Shep and Solid Snake in my ear.
Mhm.
It's so much fun. The
I-
game is just a damn blast.
I don't know if it's where I'm playing. Maybe the light isn't super strong. I don't play it in this dark light setting. Everybody watching video, don't worry, the lights are on full. Throwing the objects to hit enemies or whatever doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know
I would
what
think
the motion is. Maybe I'm just not doing the motion correctly or whatnot, but it's like it goes 2 inches in front of me. Or like
Yeah.
it doesn't go far enough with velocity. So like I gotta find a sweet spot or figure out what's going on because
Same.
it's not super fluid. It's the same thing with like the elevators and the ramps and stuff that you move to access new levels. I'm thinking it's the room. I'm gonna say that, not the game.
No, I will say it is the game, not the room, because I'm having
Great.
the same amount of trouble.
Good. Okay.
And I'm like really hucking this thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I was too. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah. But man, at the end of the day, those small hiccups aside,
Oh yeah.
if you're apprehensive because of roguelite, don't.
Yeah.
Like this is actually the perfect game to jump into. If you're itching for a VR game to play, this is it. Go spend $35 on it. If you're looking for another game to add to the list of like why I need a PSVR, this is it. This is a system seller. Like Synapse, Call of the Mountain, oh my goodness,
Demio.
Beat Saber, Demio, like these are it. Like this is a stellar game.
Yeah.
In VR terms, it's just so damn good, man. I love it. So Synapse and Dreams, you did it. This is honestly one of my favorite games this year, and I will be platting this game.
Ooh.
It's very achievable.
Is it? Because I looked at it and it seemed like you just beat levels.
Yep, beat levels, do certain challenges, but other than that, it's good.
Okay.
I don't think you need to beat it on like hard mode. If that was like the barrier,
is there?
It will unlock at the end of,
Okay.
end of the game. Yeah.
Real small fun thing that I absolutely love. Seeing a roguelite or any skill tree in VR is cool.
Very cool.
Just stand in front of you. All these nodes are up in front of you and you can see something you really want and it looks far away, and it's so much of like the I gotta keep grinding to get that, and the feeling of wanting to keep going to get a far skill in that skill tree. I think it works so much better in VR rather than a static image of like a flowchart kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I can't say enough of this. This game is so damn great. Check it out. Go purchase it. Do all the things. Synapse. Trophy room approved. It's a platinum trophy for you VR fans out there. That's for sure. All right, Kyle. That's been Synapse, and maybe you'll hear more about it by one of the devs in the next coming weeks.
Ooh.
Who knows? Who knows? And now it's time to prepare the
You didn't
drop.
ask me if I was holding anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's hot. It's 97 degrees out
I'm
here.
holding my Weeping
losing it.
Bell jungle Pokemon card.
I'm holding my my Elite controller right here. You know, look at this. Look at this bad boy. All right. Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront on July 4th. God bless America. Burnhouse Lane on PS5. Cubic Light on PS5. Everloon on PS4. Garlic on PS4. Human Autonomy VR. Whoa, what? On PSVR2. What are we talking about human anatomy here?
So
Hopefully,
I looked
like,
it up
this
because I didn't want to run into the situation. It's an educational thing for school settings.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think the time to penis on this game is?
My God, high schoolers, 0.5 seconds upon hitting start. Maybe, I don't know.
For me, what do you think time to penis?
You're looking it up in the key art before buying it.
1.5 seconds. I'm reaching over to the mannequin.
Oh, don't do
hand
that
gestures.
motion. We're on video now, Joe.
Well, it's like half of it. It's like I did half of a vague motion. All right.
Oh, boy.
Math World VR on PSVR. Synapse on PSVR2. The True on PS5. July 5th, Echo Blade on PS5. July 6th, Grimmick Special Edition on PS4. Guilt on PS5, PS4. Guilt, also the X Stadia exclusive.
Yeah,
so go check that
that's
out.
exciting.
Necrosmith on PS5. Scarf on PS5, PS4. Funny word. Scarf.
I feel like a lot of these games this week, like Garlic, The True, what's happening?
Scarf.
Scarf.
Like,
Let's see what Scarf's all about.
God. Oh, my God. I think we got a scarf. Like, it's a weird word. I don't know. Don't like it. July 7th. Feeble Light on PS5, PS4. And Trails into Reverie on PS5, PS4. That's your games this week.
Oh, Scarf looks kind of cool, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've got a scarf.
Oh, boy. Looks like a platformer.
It's time for our favorite, yet sadly the last segment of the night. It's time for the Sony Pony Express. Yeah! That's right, cowboy. That's right. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Now, you can write in all your comments or questions over at the Trophy Room Discord server or at us at Twitter at PS Trophy Room or at us on Threads because that's what all the kids are doing nowadays. We want to be, I don't know. It's like your jeans. What's going on? At PS Trophy Room, which you might be saying, Joe, why have you been looking at your watch all episode long? I'm not kidding you, Kyle. It's been distracting. I want to take it off, but for health reasons, I have to have the watch on. And nothing but alerts of people following us there on Threads. So
cool.
We'll have some neat incentives in the next week as to why you need to join us over there at Threads.
Oh.
What do you think the next one is next week? Well, people are like, oh, I'm real fed up this time. What do you think the next one is? Got Hive.
I'm enjoying Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. Blue Sky sounds peaceful, but it sounds like a meditative app.
Sure.
It doesn't sound real.
Sure. Just really quickly, I was laughing while you were doing that because Jeeves in chat about Scarf, the game, says, Scarf, from the people that brought you mittens.
God bless.
That's great. Yeah, I don't know what the next one is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Threads sounds like a thrift store, though, so I don't know.
Right? Yeah, Threads is weird.
Either a thrift store or a high-end fashion place.
Though I will say, I do like the logo of Threads.
I haven't seen it.
It's just like the @ symbol, but it's all goofy looking.
Oh, ooh.
You know? I like a good logo. Like the Twitter logo, I think is pretty
thing?
OP.
Is Threads a Facebook thing? A meta thing?
Yeah, it's like a meta thing. Which,
Mark
did you hear
Zuckerberg
meta?
Being crazy. Being
like
goofy.
the metaverse?
What about it?
It lost like over a $450 million. Like it's...
Whoa.
Or something crazy.
Man.
It's like the metaverse died or something. It's from
up
like
there
the
with
Atlantic.
the Flash movie. That's crazy.
It's like Flash movie, metaverse, that submarine from a week ago. Like those are like it, you know? Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. It's time. Let's get into it. Dico writes in, hey chaps, hello. I need some slanger advice. God bless you, sir. Again, link in the description, merch store. You buy that slanger shirt. You add us at Threads or at Twitter at PS Trophy Room. I'll give you a hand slap. I've never done a Souls-like game. I plan to with Bloodborne and Demon Souls, God bless, as I got them from the collections.
Great.
However, after playing Lies of P demo, I'm struggling. Do you have any slanging tips that for me to help get over the early struggles of my quest. Keep up the slanging content, chaps. God bless, sir. God bless.
That was a very
I'm
banger of
clapping.
you, but that's okay.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm young at heart.
I will say, starting with Liza P without doing a FromSoft game first might not be the best move.
Do Bloodborne first.
Yeah.
Bloodborne is probably it's probably the most forgiving From Software game. Demon Souls is a little cumbersome for the uninitiated. Yeah. But if you're like me and you've played like pretty much every single one of them, Demon Souls is actually the easiest, but it isn't if you're a newcomer. I know that sounds really weird. So start with Bloodborne and just be okay with dying. Yeah. Be okay with trying things out and it not working. Be patient. Understand what that enemy is doing, right? And learn their patterns. And once that unlocks for you, you're gonna have a fun time. So I would say go with Bloodborne. Don't rush Liza P if you don't have to, but go do Bloodborne first, because I think that will be the true litmus test if you could get into Liza P.
Also, do not be afraid to follow a walkthrough until you're comfortable enough with it, because that's what I did. I followed a Bloodborne walkthrough while I played for a little bit until I got the hang of it all. And then you knew what to look for in terms of like traps and enemies behind corners and what items do what and whatnot. So, have a walkthrough handy just so you know what's coming up ahead, or maybe some tips on how to tackle some of the enemies. But yeah, Bloodborne it should be the first attempt, I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Hey, Kyle, you mind reading the next question on the list? Because I just got.
I mean, I do, but I'll do it.
Thank you.
Una writes in, "Hey guys, welcome to July, where we reflect on the games for the year. Hope you guys had a good 4th of July. My question this week is, what are some of your favorite collectibles in games? I spent yesterday playing GTA 4 and doing the 200 pigeon grind. Yes, I said 200. God bless you. And even though it is a bad grind, I am enjoying it in a way. So I throw the ball to you guys. What are some of the collectibles that you enjoy collecting?"
Right. Sorry about that. So, like, real talk, and again, keeping this in the podcast, my aunt has been doing good. She suffered a stroke about 2 weeks back.
Oh, jeez.
Just got some very good news though. She's out of the ICU.
Great. That's awesome.
There you go.
Very good.
Ooh, that's some stress off my chest.
Yeah, that must feel good.
So answer it for me here, Kyle, because I'm gonna be real. I wasn't totally paying attention.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
wasn't being a good host.
No. What kind of collectibles in a game do you enjoy collecting? Or any from a game that you remember fondly of? Like I love doing the Spider-Man backpacks. Those are fun to see what Spider-Man memento were in them. That was cool. I'm a sucker for the Last of Us ones, both games. I like the trading cards. I like the Firefly pendants.
Yeah, I like them. I think they're neat. I think collectibles like that, like have a neat little memento. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's neat.
Yeah.
I hate when there's too many of them.
Like the pigeons in GTA 4 that Yuna's doing.
Yeah, like that's obnoxious. When they're tied into achievements and trophies, the reason why I don't like them there is save most. Like, don't have it complete at all, because sometimes there's a glitched one.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and then like it screws you out of the whole
Looking
thing.
at you, Returnal.
Exactly. Right. Like, oh my god, when it's based off RNG.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that pisses me off to no end. So like,
we did
none of that. We did it. We did it. We have the plat. Yes, Returnal Game of the Year. That said, though, roguelites, please stop having collectibles. I'm begging you. So I can't say I'm the biggest fan of a collectible or one that comes to mind, but I would say like things that you pick up around the world. I think, man, BioShock was the one that taught everybody how to do it. Having, those collectibles, the little notes and letters you're picking up from like survivors, and you're getting to feel how crazy it is there in Rapture. It's those moments. And I just think BioShock really is the GOAT when it comes to like, oh my God, telling the narrative. The world building is just incredible. Because like I'm thinking of like your like like in Infinite, where you're walking in the bathroom, it's like no colors, you're Irish or something like, along those lines. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, and you're just like taking it back, like, oh my God. Holy crap. Did Clarence make this bathroom? Like, it's nuts. So, like, to me, it's just, yeah. When it's world building elements, I think it can lend to some powerful moments like that.
Yeah, I some that I don't like. I hated Ghostwire Tokyo's when I got that platinum earlier.
Yeah.
Too many ghosts to collect. It was too many, and way, not fun to track. I just had I'm a sucker for the golden bricks in Lego games though. Those are fun.
Or like the golden bit in like a Ratchet and Clank.
Yes, yes, those are fun. Those are a good time.
Okay, so in the beginning of this podcast, there was a boat. Swear to God. Now there's a revolutionary battle. Fireworks are going off. People didn't get the memo. July 4th is yesterday. I'm hearing a snare drum.
Oh my God!
All right, I'm hearing some snare and I'm hearing fireworks.
Paul Revere running down the street,
right?
Next?
Are the Redcoats back? How could 2023 get any worse?
Do you have tea to throw out your window at any point?
I don't know. Oh my God. All right. Well, listen. Whatever happens, happens. Katie writes in, hey guys, hope you're doing well. My question this week is, what is your favorite opening and ending to a game? What makes you smile? What hits you in the feels the most? I got so many, but for me, one of my favorite openings is Uncharted 2. God bless. That train sequence. Ooh-wee. That's me, not Katie. Uncharted did so many big movie-like spectacles, and it was one of the series' best. Looking forward to chatting with you guys about all things Jedi Survivor, my personal game of the year so far, and Star Wars. Get ready for that nerd train. Love you guys. Can't wait to talk to you.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Uncharted 2, I think, is the bar in my eyes. Especially because it opens with that, and then when you actually redo that later in the game, you're like, "Oh man, that's cool."
Right? It's the GOAT, man. That's the thing. I think that's the moment that sold me on PlayStation.
Shout out to
Siri. Relax.
Shout out to Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
With the Normandy
oh my God,
blowing up. That's fantastic. Oh my God. I love Cloud jumping off the train in Final Fantasy VII. That is a great opening. I'm a sucker. Actually, I said it maybe last week or maybe on Twitter or whatnot. The Final Fantasy 16 title drop is one of the dopest things ever.
It's like, and this was just the prologue.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, just hold on until we finish Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah,
because You've seen
some things. Yeah.
Oh my God, have I seen things?
I mean, when it comes to like what hits you in the feels the most, I mean the entirety of Last of Us Part 2, but the ending of Part 2, I was weeping like a baby.
I think, like, there's a side quest I just played in Final Fantasy 16 that is the Chocobo quest. That if you're a pet owner, it fills your heart up. It doesn't tear anything away. You know, Kyle, we often mention like I'm too stoic. I don't have feelings.
Yeah,
all that type of stuff.
You mention it.
All right, pretty robotic.
You're the first one to say it.
And I really do hate that about myself. I really wish I could like open up.
Joe's Googling, how do I feel things? How do I human better?
It's like ask another sociopath. That's what it is, you know.
Your WebMD searches are all that thing. Like, how does one have empathy? And if I don't, what's wrong with me?
What's wrong? But no, like that there's a quest in particular that like hits at my heartstrings. But that's not what this question's about. Favorite opening though is on Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
If you ever needed to sell people 20 minutes, I mean, I need to rewatch that first episode. Jesus.
It's coming to physical soon. I think in a week or two.
Boy, yeah, so good. That is the best opening of a video game.
Yep.
The best ending to a video game is also tragic. I was thinking about this a lot. I think it's Red Dead Redemption 1.
Okay.
You know, talking about that remake, talk about that remaster, that ending. Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
It hits you where you live,
Yeah.
and it is what I really wanted Red Dead 2 to be. But like, it's just so good. It's just so good. It's man, so good.
Last of
Going
Us
out on
1
your own
is
terms.
another good opening and ending. I love how
Yeah.
one ends.
Yeah.
Might be controversial. I loved the Death Stranding ending.
Oh, it's terrific.
The Sam and BB. It's great.
BB.
Another
Yeah.
one I was weeping.
God, I can't. Right at the end, you're like, why am I crying?
And the song
And
too. Oh, it's perfect.
I asked Jeeves in that moment, I'm like, why am I feeling again?
Why is my face wet? What's happening?
What's coming out of my eyes?
Are my eyes leaking? Do I need to go to a doctor?
Exactly. Oh, great question. Falcon Guy writes in, hey fellas, hope you're doing well. What was the last game that made you rage quit? Have a great weekend.
Jedi Survivor.
Rage quit.
That was the last one.
It's funny. Usually when I rage, I'm like, oh, it's on me. I yell at myself because I'm like, I got to get better at this portion. Like I died 3 times at this one portion of Final Fantasy 16. I'm like, instead of me complaining why the dot should be at the circle button, it's on me because I need to learn this. But the last time I truly raged is at Sekiro, the Owl Father boss. Die in a fire. Die in a pit of despair. You piece of garbage. And maybe the Millennia fight as well. Yeah, actually, probably. The Millennia fight.
Yeah. And then I just took some time, and then I came back to it.
That said, I'm getting the hankering of going back in.
By the way,
yeah,
you didn't put this in chat earlier, and I forgot to look it up just to confirm it. Final Fantasy 16 update that went today. You can swap it to Circle now.
What?
Apparently. Yeah.
That was a real what, by the way. I am gonna turn on my PS5 right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need to hit update.
That's good. I think they added 3 new controller layouts, I think.
Just make it so that R1 and Circle are switched. Don't touch anything else.
I think that's what it is.
Okay. I'm trusting. You know, ooh, my TV yelled. That's definitely got caught up on the mic.
Quick, check Twitter. How many screenshots did Joe just upload? What did the PlayStation deem worthy?
Oh, Kyle, I love you. All right. Oh, Kyle, you said Jedi Survivor?
Jedi Survivor was the last one. Yeah.
Got it. It's uploading right now.
I lost multiple hours because it crashed. And I was collecting not pyrite. The rock that you need to sell to Uma or whatever her name was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I was priorite shards. I was going around the map collecting them all, and then
magic rocks.
It crashed. I hopped back in, and I lost them all that I just collected. And it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of stuff. I'm like, you know what? Nope, I'm done. Bye.
Yikes. Jan writes, hi, both from the UK. Hello, UK. The UK folks, they love us, man.
Feels good.
Love right back.
We gotta go there once we have enough money. We need to go to UK.
Honestly, I always wanted a king. You know.
That's why they're outside your door with the snare drum. They knew there was a traitor in their mix. They knew.
I'm the redcoat. It's
exactly.
Me. Oh God, I won't kidding. Suck it, you dorks. Anyway, if you could. If you could remake, erase, or remaster these 3 PS3 games, what would they be and why? Resistance, Infamous, and Jack and Daxter. So instead of F1 Mario and Kill One.
Yeah. Which ones are we doing here? Oh man.
Can I take the reins, or would you like to?
No, go for it. Cause I'm still debating.
You're gonna hate me what I have to say.
I know what you're gonna say. I'm prepared.
Oh, you ready? Okay. Resistance. We're remaking that.
Good.
But it's a PSVR2 game.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Okay. Or how about this? I'll give you it could be both.
Okay.
I just want to see all the haptics, all the things that those guns can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, haptic feedback. And ironically, I've been going to a lot of retro game stores.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, shout out to Digital Press if you ever want to assassinate me, Clifton, New Jersey. Head on over there and just hang around. Just hang. I'll show up one day. And you go, see Serpent Tyrannus. Bam. So Resistance gets remade.
Mm-hmm.
Jack and Daxter gets remastered. We need more platformers. I'm gonna die on that hill. Jack and Daxter lives.
Okay.
We're killing Infamous. We got Spider-Man, baby. Don't worry about it.
That's fair. That's logical.
Yeah.
That's logical.
And I snuff Cole out with a pillow.
Oh boy. Oh,
Time for the long nap, Cole.
This is interesting. This is hard for me.
Okay. That's what she said.
I think out of the three, unfortunately, Jack and Daxter have to go.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Was it because of last week's answer that they're all stoners at the cookout?
No, absolutely not. In fact, that made him love them even more.
They're just huffing whippets in the back of my garage, you know?
It's just Resistance and Infamous mean more to me personally than Jack and Daxter do.
Yeah.
It's just that which one's going to be remade, which one's going to be remastered. And I'm trying to think back of, like, pit the first games up against each other. Which one needs a remake more?
I would argue Resistance. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
If memory serves right,
I
think R1's the shoot.
It is.
If memory serves right,
it is.
Then Resistance gets remade.
I still think I'm going to go remake Infamous. And remaster Resistance, and then make a brand new Resistance.
Oh, okay. Fair.
That's how I'm logically rationalizing. Yeah. Okay. That first Infamous game does not age well at all.
At all. But I'm still going to be playing it.
Okay, have fun.
Dewana Raksha writes in, gentlemen, how is Sony dropping the ball so hard on VR? They have a product in the market which is outselling the previous model despite being embedded in game culture. The only people I hear talking about it is VR-specific podcasts. I see zero advertising.
Joe, I'm sorry. This was from last week.
Don't worry, we're answering it here right now. I don't even see blog posts about upcoming games. Did you know there are more games slated in PS3 on PSVR than there are weeks left in a year? This is a platform which will have more than a game a week on average released in the next 6 months, and they simply refuse to talk about it. How did we get through the summer games season with the only mention being RE4 Remake will be playable? Given that they have so much mindshare in the marketing space for video games, it seems like a no-brainer to me to have something out there reminding people that it exists, and there will be more stuff to play on it. Frustration indeed. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Yeah,
Kyle, what say you?
I mean, Synapse just came out and it got trailers on the PlayStation YouTube channel and everything, but I feel like it's not made as big of a deal as I think it should be. Yeah. I mean, we just read the list of upcoming games this week. There's a lot of VR2 stuff on there, and yeah, I wish they had I don't know what the answer is other than have regular VR showcases, which you don't want because then you run into all right, everybody wants a VR showcase, everyone wants an indie showcase, everyone wants everything else AAA stuff. That's too many.
Yeah. First and foremost, my fans started making a weird clicking noise, so apologies, audio listeners, if you hear it. No apologies. It's still 87 degrees and it's hot. 9 o'clock. Ooh-wee, I'm glistening. But yeah, it's the frustration. And still, again, it's still selling well. We got to get out of the mindset. It's like what we were talking about the Project Q LED. This thing is not supposed to be the 20 million seller mark, right? It's not an Xbox Series. It's not going to sell 10 plus million. It's not the Vita. It's going to sell more than the PSVR. Remember that this thing is still growing. Mm-hmm. That games and developers are still learning how to make games more accessible in VR. And there's so many things stopping VR from taking off because of things like accessibility. And that only gets better with more tech, with more investment. So to me, understand, we're still in the PS2 gen of VR, and we're still even learning how to show this thing off. So I understand, like, if I'm a PSVR owner, I'm frustrated because, yeah, the only person that's seemingly talking about PSVR is like PSVR, what is it, Parole out there talking about it and championing the good fight. And like, for us, it is hard to kind of see the silver linings here. But what I would say is, you have them now in store shelves. Have them now on Amazon, being more readily available. PlayStation just needs to learn how to market this thing, and that's the frustration. So I understand it entirely.
Yeah.
It is frustrating. Yeah. Kyle, would you like to read the last two questions?
Sure. And I just realized me being comfortable in this chair means I am so tiny in the frame, and you know what? I'm not sorry.
Yeah, fit you in the palm of my hand.
Yeah. At Hida-san on Twitter writes, apologies if this was asked in the past and I missed it, but
Yeah, that's all right.
what classic PS1 game would you like to see remade on PS5? With Capcom hitting it out of the park lately, I would like Dino Crisis.
Oh, any PlayStation 1 game?
Any PlayStation 1 game.
Anyone I get. Oh my goodness. What say you? I got.
I mean, the one that I really want, we're getting in September, Star Ocean 2. It's down to 3. Brave Fencer Musashi, which is one of my favorites. Tomba, the feral child who is fighting evil pigs. And oh my god, it's gone. I had it and it's gone.
No, you got this. You got this. I have faith in you, Kyle.
It's not the one I was thinking about, but I'll either FF8 or FF9.
I was gonna say for you, Kyle.
Eve is another one.
Ooh, I would like to do Parasite Eve. I'll say Parasite Eve or Resident Evil 9 just for you, bud. How about that?
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 9. What'd I say?
Resident Evil 9.
Ooh, sorry. Oh yeah, wow. I'm definitely smelling toast.
It's
Final
hot.
Fantasy 9. It really is. I'm. Oof. All right.
Express is about to leave. We got the last one.
Okay. Oh no. Okay,
I put in parentheses for you.
All right. Okay. I got this. Will Olchivsky writes in.
Close. Olszewski.
What? Olszewski.
Yeah.
You know what? I should have asked you. You're the Polish.
I wrote it right there.
I can't pronounce. You know me.
No.
I'm dumb. I got
Olszewski.
Olszewski.
There you go. You said chief.
Oh, did I say chief?
You did.
I'm definitely smart. Guys, I'm gonna go to the hospital after
degrees.
It's 103 now that you're thinking about it. Sorry, Will. Sorry, I'm dumb. You're not embarrassed
dumb.
for me.
Don't be embarrassed.
No, I'm a big dumb idiot.
No, you're fine.
What are 3 PlayStation franchises that best define you as fans of PlayStation?
Wow. I know, it's big.
I got 2 off the top of my head, actually.
See, the thing is, I am like only PlayStation, so it's hard to narrow it down to just 3.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have some overlapping ones, though.
I mean, Bloodborne.
Oh, not there. Never mind.
That's right. I know it's not a franchise game, but like
still. Still.
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, maybe we don't.
And I would then have to give props to Uncharted.
Okay, we share one.
Okay.
Mine would be Last of Us.
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
And God of War.
Boom.
I know they're the bigger ones, but
yeah.
I would also throw Final Fantasy in there too, but
right. When I think of PlayStation, I know one of the first things that actually pops in my head is music. Because there's no one that does it better than the PlayStation music group.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I mean, they're wizards, man. They're wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, that's it. That's been the trophy room this week, man.
We did it.
We did it. They said it couldn't be done in under 2 hours. They were right, but look at this. You got a big juicy show. You know? Yeah. Kyle, is there anything you'd like to highlight before we get on out of here?
Sure. You can follow me everywhere at Mr. K-Step. Go follow 61 Indie for all the latest in indie games. Yeah, I'm working on the new indie game showcase, mini indie showcase, coming in August, so there's a lot of things to do. So yeah,
Nice.
keep it locked over there. Why did I say locked? What am I doing? It's 106 degrees.
No,
Yeah, I love you all
let's see
very,
what
very
it is for
much.
real.
I'm in a very good place lately, and I just appreciate y'all for everything. So yeah,
Yeah. And honestly, same here. Like before the show, I was fighting off a panic attack for I don't dumb reasons.
they
You know when your
always are.
body's just yeah, when your body all of a sudden just says panic. It's
Yep.
like, please
Yeah,
stop.
things are
I'm
going too
having a good
well.
week.
They're going too
Yeah,
well. Let's throw a wrench in there.
exactly. But no, honestly, yeah, the past like week or two has been fantastic. I've been in a in the most healthiest space, mind and physically, I think I've ever been. You know, I've been in a long time. So yeah, I love you all so very much. This community means so much to us. It means so much to me. You can follow me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter because I ain't going nowhere. And on Threads and on Blue Sky at Mr. Badbit. Just in case, backup plan. We don't, you know, you
Yeah.
gotta have a backup plan.
We gotta
You know,
all find the one that's gonna be the one. So we're all
we
testing it out, you know?
no one knows, but we what we all know for certain is no one's really happy anymore.
No.
Uh, and then you can find the show, the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players, wherever you get your podcast service of choice, whether that is Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you find your podcast service of choice, you can find the show here, or you can watch us live like the dozens of you did tonight over on YouTube at PS Trophy Room. Link to all those things in the description down below. And of course, if you really love what you hear, please consider becoming a Patreon today over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. Some cool stuff coming your way very soon. So, with all that said, and with all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you. Keep hunting. And keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Love y'all. Remember, have a banger of time.
We're going to edit that out.
No, we're not. It's in the live
You're
show,
right.
baby. We're off.